AAMA practice test 200. Questions and answers with verified solutions 100%. Correct. For purposes of collections control, how often should the medical assistant verify the patient's demographic data? Answer: on each visit. Which of the following describe best a surgical procedure that connects the common bile duct with the middle portion of the small intestines? Answer: cholecystectomy. Which of the following is the most important reason a written consent is required prior to using email to communicate with a patient? Answer: email is not considered a secure form of communication. Which of the following is an antihistamine used in the treatment of allergic reactions? Answer: diphenhydramine Benadryl. Which of the following would describe the correct term when an insurance claim is submitted with an invalid procedure code? Answer: rejected. Which of the following would be appropriate to include in a patient information brochure? Answer: payment and billing information. When filing an insurance claim for an appendectomy, which of the following is the most appropriate reference source for locating the surgical code? Answer: current procedural terminology, CPT. Which of the following best describes a condition resulting in a sudden discharge of electrical activity in the brain that results in seizures? Answer: epilepsy. 1/3. Which of the following is a suture material that is absorbable? Answer: catgut. Which of the following describes a state statute that sets the requirements for licensure of physicians? Answer: Medical Practice Act. Which of the following medical specialties includes the study of the diseases and treatment of the male reproductive system? Answer: urology. Which of the following conditions is consistent with an increased presence of bacteria and white blood cells in a clean, catch urine specimen? Answer: a urinary tract infection. Which of the following body structures is examined during a cystoscopy? Answer: bladder. Which of the following demonstrates voluntary muscle actions? Answer: flexion. Which of the following is the proper cleansing technique with the alcohol pad when preparing the skin for an injection? Answer: wipe in a circular motion beginning at the injection site and moving outward. Which of the following characteristics would enable a medical assistant to effectively communicate with patients? Answer: impartiality. Which of the following is a function of the olfactory nerve? Answer: smelling. Which of the following information is found on the patient registration form? Answer: name of the person to contact in an emergency. Which of the following is the process of observing a patient to detect signs of disease? Answer: inspection. 2/3. After examining a competent adult patient who was bitten by a wild animal, the physician advises the patient to have a series of rabies injections. The patient refuses to undergo the injections and leaves the office. Which of the following actions should be taken by the practice? Answer: send a certified letter to the patient outlining he consequences. Which of the following is the correct format for a name on an inside address? Answer: William Brown, MD. Which of the following terms describes an abnormal posterior curvature of a patient's spine? Answer: kyphosis. According to current procedural terminology, CPT, coding rules, a new patient is one who has not received professional services from the physician or a qualified healthcare professional in the practice of the exact same specialty and subspecialty for a minimum of how many years? Answer: 3 years. Which of the following conditions would most likely result in unequal pupils? Answer: cerebrovascular accident. Which of the following terms refers to a disease process that has no defined course and is of unknown origin? Answer: idiopathic. Which of the following is the most important information to obtain when determining the urgency of a patient's need for an appointment? Answer: duration, intensity, and nature of the problem. An advance beneficiary notice is required in which of the following cases? Answer: a Medicare patient has a procedure or test that may not be covered by Medicare. Which of the following is the neurotransmitter necessary for the transmission of the electrical impulse from a nerve to a muscle? Answer: acetylcholine. Powered by TCPDF, www.tcpdf.org. 3/3